Hey guys, happy Saturday to you guys. Just thought I'd make this video and give some thoughts about the Springbok All Black game in Auckland earlier this morning. I think it was a disappointment for all of us. I think, especially the way the Springboks started, I think there's no doubt. First of all, I'm going to say well done to the All Blacks. They were absolute class, exceptionally good in that first half, frighteningly so. And I think, the Boks, I've never seen them play as badly in that first 20 minutes as, and especially under Jacques Ninalba and Rassie Erasmus since they've been with the team. Even the game against England when Rassie took over back in 2018, England were brilliant, scoring 3 tries, but the Boks weren't. Nothing went right for them. They couldn't feel the kickoff, they couldn't feel the high ball, they knocked on balls, they really just looked like they were, I won't even say rusty, they just looked like they were out of it a bit. And I think it was a huge disappointment. I think 17-0 was rather flattering for the Boks at that stage because nothing was going right for them, not a single thing. And 23 at half-time, the fact that they fought back in the second half was exceptionally good. The bomb squad made a huge difference, the guys off the bench. I think there's some disappointing performances from some of the guys. The guys who came off the bench really made an impact. Guys like Dwayne Vermeulen, Peter Steph du Toit, Malcolm Marx, they really made a huge difference in that team when they came on the field. And they fought back. And at one stage it seems like they might have hauled in the All Blacks, but the All Blacks kicking game was just way too good today. And I know a lot of people don't like kicking games, but this was a prime example of a kicking masterclass when a team does it really well, of how it can influence the opposition, how it can influence a game. Even when the Boks were coming back, those little kicks by Richie Mo'unga and Beauden Barrett really just took the game away from them, and the All Blacks were just too good today. We were soundly beaten. I think we've got to admit that. It was the first thing. I think the All Blacks have done exceptionally well, especially I think Joe Schmidt's made a huge difference since he's come in there. Shannon Frizzell was absolutely a monster today in that pack. And just that backline, Will Jordan continues to be class, 22 tries in 22 tests. That's some record. That's really, you've got to give them all the credit. They deserve the win. They deserve all the plaudits. So that's the first part of it. Second of all, reffing performance. I know a lot of people don't like speaking about reffing performance, but I think the one point that needs to be made is that the Boks got no 50-50s today. Everything went to the home side. It sometimes happens, but it is a bit of a worrying factor. You would think that some of them would have gone to the Boks. I'm not saying the ref had a bad game, it's just sometimes it happens like that. The picture you paint for the referee is one of domination, and that's what the All Blacks did. And for some reason, the Boks never got any reward for anything they did in the first, in the second half, a lot of the time as well, and part of the first half. I thought the breakdown was a mess, both sides. I didn't think tacklers were rolling away, and I think what we've seen in other competitions, the way players get pinged for that, we didn't see that today. But saying that, the reffing wasn't, it was a sidebar on a very absorbing test match. I think the big disappointment was the way the Springboks played. And I suppose that's what we're going to deal with next, is why did they play so badly in that first 20? This is, of course, mainly World Cup winners in that squad. A bunch of them, a dozen of them, flew over early to be acclimatized. Everything looked good, but they just sort of froze as they start. And the worrying thing about this whole thing is it's not the first time it's happened. It happened in Ellis Park last year, although they were over the line 3 times in that game. I think it happened against France, if I remember right, as well, where they got the red card, so that was maybe the telling factor. So it is starting to become a bit of a worry, and we're getting closer. We're 9 weeks out from the World Cup now. At the World Cup, you can't do that. You can't come back from the World Cup, and it could end your World Cup chances. So I think there's a lot of worrying points there. I think some of the players looked a bit ring rusty, especially some of the Japanese players. Lue de Jager, Franco Mostert, even Damien de Lende, Kwagga Smith in the first half, although he improved in the second. I don't think they were necessarily bad performances, but they just seemed to be that second off the mark. Faf had a great game. I hope he's not too injured, and I hope really he's okay. Grant Williams had a great cameo coming on as well. He really looks like the guy who's going to challenge for that third scrum off spot. I think Kobus Reinach and Herschel Yankees might be in a bit of trouble there. But we'll have to see how the Bok team reacts. I think the one good thing is you can say from a Springbok point of view is I don't think the All Blacks are going to play better than in the first 20 minutes in the future, in the next couple of months, couple of weeks, I suppose. We're talking about 9 weeks to the World Cup. So the Boks know what they're in for if they have to face them again. They also, next time they won't play them, they won't be playing them in Auckland, which is sort of almost hallowed ground for the All Blacks. But saying that, you know, this wasn't a great performance by the Boks, and they'll know that. They'll go back and they'll work hard. They'll come back from this. I'm sure they're going to be a lot better when we see them face Argentina in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, some days you just have these bad days, and I think they'll be searching for answers as to why it happened. They did get themselves back. They won the second half 17-15, but yeah, the damage was done in that first half. I think there are some question marks about players. I think some players are going to be under pressure after this performance, and some of the guys will be under a lot more scrutiny, and especially after the performance against Australia. Although I think we're probably going to see next week that the gulf between New Zealand and Australia is quite big. Still, rather that happen now than it happens at the World Cup. Still, knowing this Bok management like I do, they'll be working hard at this, they'll be looking for answers, and they'll be challenging the players as well. So I think there'll be a lot of introspection going on in the next couple of weeks. They also, Jacques Nienaber did say in his post-match press conference that they got answers about a number of players. So obviously there's going to be a bit more competition going into this next game, and the next selection will be telling. The good thing for the Springboks will be the fact that there are still 4 games to the World Cup. There is still time to rectify these things, and this is not a time to panic. I think we should show enough. The Boks have shown us enough over the years that this management team have got ways of getting this right and will do their best to get this right. I don't think we have to worry about that. But I think it is something, we're all a bit concerned about the way they started today. It wasn't the best 20 minutes, and I think there'll be a lot of soul searching going on in the next couple of days from the Boks. I suppose that's it. In the day, you got to say, well done, All Blacks. You're soundly beaten today. They were really the better side in all facets of the game. And I think that wake-up call is probably good now rather than the World Cup, as I said. Tell me what you think, what your thoughts are of the day, and who do you think stood out, and who do you think's under pressure? And be interesting to see. But thanks for watching, and subscribe below, and keep watching these videos. I'll be doing a lot more of them as we go into the World Cup.